The bright afternoon sun poured through the glass windows of a quiet family restaurant as Noah Carter stood outside holding the tiny hand of his 6-year-old daughter, Lily. His heart felt strangely heavy, not because he was nervous about a blind date, but because he had spent years convincing himself that love no longer belonged in his life. Since losing his wife 3 years earlier, every sunrise had begun with responsibility instead of hope. Every smile he wore existed only for his daughter. Today, his closest friend had insisted that he deserved another chance and secretly arranged a lunch with her younger sister. Noah had promised he would at least show up. He took one deep breath, pushed open the restaurant door, and froze. Sitting at the reserved table wasn't just the woman he had expected to meet. Across from her, calmly reading the menu as if fate had planned every second, sat his demanding boss, Victoria Hale. The woman who had never smiled at him in the office slowly looked up, and the color disappeared from her face just as quickly as it disappeared from his. Before we continue this emotional journey, please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness Tales Journey if you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of unexpected love. Your support helps these heartfelt stories reach more people who need hope. Noah had always believed life enjoyed testing the people who were already carrying too much. Every weekday morning began before sunrise as he packed Lily's school lunch, braided her hair after watching countless online tutorials, and hurried to his demanding job at one of the city's largest architecture firms. His boss, Victoria Hale, was known throughout the company for her perfectionism. Employees respected her brilliant mind but feared her impossible standards. Noah had never once seen her show favoritism or personal emotion. To him, she was simply the successful executive who expected excellence from everyone, including the quiet single father who constantly rushed home exactly at 5 o'clock because his daughter was always waiting. Unknown to Noah, Victoria had quietly admired his dedication for months. While other employees stayed late to impress management, Noah never used his daughter as an excuse. Instead, he worked harder during the day, often completing assignments that others left unfinished. She respected him more than anyone realized, though she never allowed personal feelings to interfere with business. The awkward surprise at the restaurant only grew stronger when Noah's longtime friend, Emily Brooks, happily introduced everyone with complete innocence. She had invited her younger sister Ava to meet Noah, believing the two kind-hearted people might heal each other's loneliness. Emily had absolutely no idea that Victoria was Noah's employer. Even more shocking was the fact that Victoria turned out to be Ava's closest mentor and had agreed to join the lunch after finishing a nearby meeting. The coincidence felt almost impossible. Noah wanted nothing more than to politely leave before embarrassment swallowed him whole, but Lily smiled brightly at everyone around the table with the fearless honesty only children possess. Her cheerful nature broke the uncomfortable silence in a way no adult could manage. As the afternoon continued beneath clear blue skies visible through the restaurant windows, Noah slowly realized that life looked very different outside the office walls. Victoria was no longer surrounded by conference rooms, business reports, or strict deadlines. She laughed gently whenever Lily described her dream of becoming an astronaut who rescued lost animals in space. Ava listened kindly as Noah shared stories about raising his daughter alone without once asking for sympathy. Emily watched the unexpected chemistry between everyone with growing curiosity. What had started as an ordinary blind date transformed into an unforgettable afternoon where masks quietly disappeared. Noah noticed something surprising about Victoria. Behind her confident professional image was someone carrying invisible sadness remarkably similar to his own. Days passed, but the strange lunch refused to leave Noah's thoughts. At work, everything appeared normal on the surface. Victoria remained focused and professional, yet there was a new softness in her eyes whenever Lily unexpectedly appeared during school holidays to wait for her father. She noticed how Noah always knelt to Lily's height before speaking with her, making sure she felt heard no matter how busy he was. Watching those small moments reminded Victoria of the family she had almost built years earlier before losing her fiancé in a tragic accident. Since then, she had buried herself in work, believing success could replace the future she had lost. It never did. Meanwhile, Ava realized that Noah's heart still belonged to memories rather than possibilities. She admired his honesty enough to quietly step aside instead of forcing a relationship that neither of them truly wanted. Rather than feeling rejected, she respected him even more. Emily initially felt guilty for creating such an awkward situation, yet she soon understood that perhaps destiny had arranged something far greater than she ever could. Sometimes kindness does not lead us toward the person we expect. Sometimes it gently guides us toward the person we need. One bright Saturday morning, Noah and Lily visited a neighborhood charity fair organized for families facing financial hardship. Volunteers distributed school supplies, books, and warm meals beneath colorful tents filled with children's laughter. Noah spent hours helping elderly visitors carry donated groceries while Lily happily painted cheerful pictures for younger children. As they worked together, Noah looked up and saw Victoria across the park wearing simple casual clothes instead of expensive business suits. She had quietly volunteered every weekend for years without telling anyone at the company. Seeing his boss serving food with genuine compassion completely changed the image he had built in his mind. She wasn't simply a successful executive. She was someone whose kindness existed even when nobody was watching. Throughout that sunny afternoon, they discovered pieces of each other's lives they had hidden behind responsibility. Noah confessed how every major decision revolved around making sure Lily never felt the emptiness left behind by losing her mother. Victoria admitted that loneliness had followed her despite every promotion and achievement. She had built skyscrapers across the country but had never rebuilt the broken places inside her own heart. Their conversations felt natural because neither person tried to impress the other. They simply understood what silent grief looked like. Weeks slowly became months. Their friendship remained careful and respectful, especially at work, but outside the office they occasionally met at community events, school fundraisers, and neighborhood volunteer programs. Lily adored Victoria almost immediately because she never tried to replace anyone. Instead, she simply became another caring adult who listened patiently to every story about school, science projects, and imaginary adventures. Noah noticed that his daughter laughed more often whenever Victoria was around. Even he found himself smiling without forcing it for the first time in years. Not everyone approved. Some co-workers whispered that Noah received special treatment because of his growing friendship with the company's CEO. Rumors spread quickly despite having no truth behind them. Noah considered resigning rather than allowing his integrity to be questioned. The job had provided stability for Lily, but his reputation meant everything. Before he could hand in his resignation, Victoria publicly announced a company-wide independent review of every promotion, project assignment, and employee evaluation to prove fairness beyond doubt. The investigation confirmed exactly what she already knew. Noah had earned every opportunity through relentless dedication and exceptional work. The rumors disappeared almost overnight, replaced by respect. The experience taught both of them an important lesson. Genuine character eventually outshines false assumptions. Kindness often walks a difficult road because people rarely understand quiet goodness until time reveals it. On another beautiful afternoon beneath clear blue skies, Noah visited the small cemetery where his late wife rested. Lily carefully placed fresh white flowers beside the headstone before running toward nearby trees to chase butterflies. Noah stood silently, realizing that moving forward did not mean forgetting the woman who had shaped his life. Love was never something divided. The memories he carried would always remain precious, yet his heart no longer needed to stay locked in yesterday. When he finally looked up, Victoria waited respectfully several steps away, giving him space rather than interrupting his private moment. Her quiet presence spoke louder than words ever could. Months later, Emily smiled proudly while watching Noah, Lily, Ava, and Victoria share lunch together once again at the very same restaurant where everything had unexpectedly begun. Nobody could have predicted that a blind date arranged with one sister would ultimately lead Noah towards someone entirely different. Fate had not embarrassed him that afternoon. It had quietly introduced two wounded hearts that understood each other's silent battles better than anyone else ever could. If this story has touched your heart so far, please take a moment to like, share, comment, and subscribe to Kindness Tales Journey. Your support helps spread stories of hope, healing, and second chances to people who may need them today. Special request: before this story ends, please comment below with, "Kindness always finds a way," if you believe every act of kindness eventually returns when we need it most. As the afternoon sun gently lit the path ahead, Noah realized that second chances rarely arrive wrapped in perfect plans. Sometimes they arrive disguised as awkward surprises, impossible coincidences, and unexpected meetings that completely rewrite our future. The greatest gift life had given him was not another romance, but the courage to believe happiness could exist again without erasing the love he had already lived. Holding Lily's hand while Victoria walked beside them, he finally understood that healing never asks us to forget yesterday. It simply teaches us to welcome tomorrow with an open heart. And on that bright day, beneath endless blue skies filled with hope instead of fear, 3 lives quietly became one family, proving that kindness has an extraordinary way of leading broken people exactly where they belong. The arrival of autumn brought clear blue afternoons and cool breezes that seemed to wash away the heaviness Noah had carried for years. One weekend, Lily's elementary school announced a family volunteer day to renovate the playground. Parents, teachers, and local businesses gathered under the bright daytime sky with buckets of paint, gardening tools, and boxes of new books for the school library. Noah volunteered immediately, knowing how much the playground meant to Lily. When he arrived, he was surprised to see Victoria standing beside the principal, helping organize the volunteers. Instead of directing others, she spent the morning painting old benches, planting flowers, and carrying heavy bags of soil alongside everyone else. Children surrounded her without hesitation because they sensed genuine kindness rather than authority. Watching Victoria laugh freely with the students changed something inside Noah. At work she had always appeared confident and untouchable, yet here she celebrated every small success with the excitement of a child. Lily proudly introduced Victoria to her classmates as someone who always remembered her science projects and encouraged her dreams. Hearing those innocent words reminded Noah that trust is not built through grand promises but through countless small moments of consistency. As the afternoon continued, a sudden accident startled everyone when a young boy slipped while climbing a ladder. Before panic could spread, Noah rushed forward and safely caught the frightened child before he hit the ground. Victoria immediately helped calm the boy while teachers contacted his parents. The child suffered only a few minor scratches, but the incident revealed Noah's instinct to protect others without thinking of himself. Many parents quietly thanked him, and the principal praised his courage. Victoria watched silently, realizing that the same compassion Noah showed his daughter naturally extended to complete strangers. The following week, the company announced a major community partnership to fund children's education programs across the city. Instead of placing executives at the center of the campaign, Victoria nominated Noah to lead the volunteer initiative because of his genuine connection with families and local schools. Noah hesitated at first, worried that coworkers would once again misunderstand her decision. However, every selection process was transparent, and employees overwhelmingly supported him after seeing his years of volunteer service. Leading the project gave Noah renewed confidence that his experiences as a single father had value beyond his own home. The program soon transformed hundreds of young lives. Employees spent weekends reading to children, renovating classrooms, and providing school supplies to families struggling financially. Lily proudly joined every event, becoming the youngest volunteer in the group. Her cheerful smile reminded adults why kindness mattered in the first place. Victoria often said that successful companies should not only build businesses but also stronger communities, and Noah helped turn those words into reality through quiet action rather than speeches. One afternoon, Emily smiled as she watched the growing friendship between Noah and Victoria. She realized that the blind date she had arranged months earlier had never truly failed. It had simply opened a different door than anyone expected. Ava had also found happiness in her own life and remained a close family friend, proving that genuine affection does not always become romance but can grow into lifelong respect. By the time winter approached, Noah no longer measured his future by the pain he had survived. Instead, he measured it by the hope he now shared with Lily and the people who had stood beside them. Every challenge had slowly shaped a life filled not only with healing but with purpose, reminding him that the brightest chapters often begin after the darkest seasons.